Hi, welcome to Channel Xevaris, twitch.tv/Xevaris. Again, I'm here with...
Hi, I'm Alexandria, writer and streamer at twitch.tv/OzmaInTheDark. That's OZMA in the dark.
Great, and today we are discussing Jordan B. Peterson, the leader of the incels online.
What do you do now?
So let's get started. Jordan B. Peterson is a social firestorm. He's become so popular that outside of the intellectosphere that exists online, that he's leaked into other parts of society. Recently, it's become a topic point to discuss Jordan B. Peterson's thoughts on if he believes in God or if he's a Christian. He was asked about this on a recent PragerU summit last week. Here was his response to the question, "Do you believe in God?" Quote, "People ask me if I believe in God. People kept asking me that question, which I really don't like. I don't like that question. So I sat and thought about it for a good while and tried to figure out why. And I thought, well, who would have the audacity to claim that they believed in God? If they examined the way they lived, who would dare say that? To believe in a Christian sense, to actually, this is why Friedrich Nietzsche said there was only ever one Christian, and that was Christ. To have the audacity to claim that means that you live it out fully, and that is an unbearable task in some sense."
What?
Much like most of Jordan Peterson's statements, it comes with an immediate what the fuck and a facepalm.
Did he reach new levels of rambling there?
It gets worse. I mean, the more I read through this, it sounds like how Donald Trump talks sometimes, where it's just like, oh, tangent, now let's go down this road, down this road, now down this road. Oh, we're back to the main point, but only for one sentence. I like how he admits that he just doesn't like the question. As though that's somehow valid. Like, I don't like that you asked me if I'm a Christian.
That's like the thing where it's just like, why do you make such a big deal about like how Black Lives Matter? Everybody's lives matter.
You know, like, I don't really like that question. So I sat and thought about it. Well, I'll give him credit for that. I mean, if you don't like something, you should sit down and think about it. Like, that's actually a good point. But, like, I don't think he actually thought about this. I think he thought about a way to not answer the question.
That sounds pretty par for course.
So this is the next part of his quote here. He then brought up something about from the Slovenian philosopher, and I'm going to murder this name, and I do apologize. Slavek Žižek. I probably destroyed that, and I am so sorry.
It wouldn't surprise me if you destroyed that.
He talked about Christ's moment on the cross when he cried out to God and said that he had been forsaken. And what Zizek said was that the consciousness of human existence is so the conditions of human existence are so tragic that even God himself in human form lost faith for a moment in the goodness of being. I thought that was a remarkable observation because, well, if even God himself were to lose faith under such conditions, what would you expect from a normal human being confronted with what we're confronted by?
Wait, oh my god, there's so many levels of stupid there.
Well, number one, I don't even think that Jesus stopped believing in God for, like, let's assume like the Christian story is the case. It's true. There's no way but like the Bible isn't God. He stopped believing in, or I don't even want to say stop believing. Like, for a moment he was like, the fuck, Dad? You can't call someone dad and not believe in them. It doesn't work like that.
Probably. I mean, to be fair, like, the Bible is full of a bunch of contrary stories that some of them kind of treat Jesus more as a prophet than Son of God.
It's almost like there's three religions at play trying to claim this one story.
Wait, which three religions?
Well, I mean, there's the Judaism religion, the Christianity, and the Muslim religion. Even Muslims believe in Christ. Not as a divine creature, but as a prophet. So let's move on to the next portion of his quote. This is, the next point he makes is about what he thinks belief means. It's another one of those where he redefines a word to better suit his narrative. This is what I was trying to say when I thought above that he didn't actually think of a way to answer this question. He found a way to not answer this question and look like he did. Here's what he thinks about belief. To be able to accept the structure of existence, the suffering that goes along with it, and the disappointment and the betrayal, and to nonetheless act properly, To aim at the good with all of your heart, to dispense with the malevolence and your desire for destruction and revenge, and all of that, and to face things courageously, and to tell the truth, to speak the truth, and to act it out. That's what it means to believe. That's what it means. And it doesn't mean to state, it means to act it out. And unless you act it out, you should be very careful of claiming it. And so, I've never been comfortable saying anything other than, I try to act as if God exists, because God only knows what you'd be if you truly believed. That's the central idea in Christianity, that if you were capable of believing, it would be a transfiguring event, a truly transfiguring event. And I know people experience that to one degree or another, but we have no idea what the limit of that is, and we have no idea what the possibility is within each person if they lived a life that was maximally courageous and maximally truthful. God only knows what you'd be if you believed. So while I try to act like I believe, I never claim that I manage it. This is literally him stating, I believe in God, and I choose to make my life as though I believed in God. But at the end of the day, I don't think that I am as Christian as I should be, and therefore I can't say that I believe. That's really what he just said.
He redefines that so crazily. By that reasoning, nobody really believes in anything.
Unless you can know the true limits and absolute possible extents beyond what you even know is even possible, you can't actually believe in the thing.
Yeah, so you need to be omniscient to believe in anything.
Essentially, you can't be a Christian unless you are yourself God. It just doesn't make any sense, like, at all. Jordan Peterson defeats himself. So I've gone through and I picked out some select quotes from Jordan Peterson. Quote, if you can't understand why someone is doing something, look at the consequences of their actions, whatever they might be, and then infer the motivation from their consequences. I can't understand why Jordan B. Peterson makes tons and tons of religious statements. Oh, it might be because he's religious, or seeking to at least extend religiousness throughout, Western culture, which I think he isn't even hiding behind a curtain on that one. Like he's been pretty hardline from the start that America and Western culture needs to go back to Christianity.
Okay, I've got a new plan. The right-wing religious beliefs tend to stick together. So what we need to do is we need to jump on that train and then get some money and then jump off the train.
I don't know how many other ways I can say that his entire answer is a non-answer to say that he actually believes in Christianity. I mean, I got another quote from Jordan here. This one's another great one. So here's a religious quote from Jordan Peterson that I find astounding, that you can't possibly believe in God and then say this. You can't say, I don't know if I believe in God, and then make this statement. It doesn't follow. It just doesn't work at all. Quote, I don't ask God for favors or for wishes, but I do think that if you sit on the edge of your bed and things aren't going very well for you, and you ask what foolish things you're doing to make it worse, that you'll get an answer right now. And it won't be the one you want, but it might be the one that if you listen to it, would set things straight. Jordan Peterson actually just advocated for prayer to a God. You can't say, I don't know if I believe in God, or I don't think I believe in God, but then pray to a God. It does not work. That I want to point out for Jordan Peterson's, because he's got to read his own shit.
Did he say to mess up your room?
You can only find out what you actually believe rather than what you think you believe by watching how you act. You simply don't know what you believe. Before that, you are too complicated or too complex to understand yourself. Jordan Peterson has overcomplexed himself because the way he acts is the way any normal person would consider a Christian to act. I got a couple more quotes here. Another good one here is this just speaks to the fact that I think he just doesn't listen to himself and just kind of like says shit to make money almost, I feel like. So his last, as we were discussing, his answer to the do you believe in God question is a complete non-answer. It's a non-explanation as far as I'm concerned, which goes against, advice he gives. Quote, if you have a comprehensive explanation for everything, then it decreases uncertainty and anxiety and reduces your cognitive load. And if you can use that simplifying algorithm to put yourself on the side of moral virtue, then you're constantly a good person with minimum effort. You did not put comprehensive explanation onto your belief in God. You put a comprehensive and convoluted runaround to the actual answer, Jordan Peterson. You didn't answer the question.
I don't know. My brain hurts trying to just sort through that level of BS. Like,
Yeah, it's just another word redefinition again, like it has been for truth and a few other of his statements. It's I don't like the conventional usage of a word, and now I'm going to redefine it under some pretense of philosophy, and so that in normal conversation, I can't actually describe my beliefs to you because the words I'm using have different definitions. Like, unless you follow all of Jordan Peterson's work, if you were to have a normal conversation with him, you wouldn't be able to understand what he says when he says certain words. They mean different things to him.
hey, is he creating a secret Jordan language? Jordan language.
The Peterson language. I wouldn't want to be part of that language where truth doesn't mean anything.
The PBJ language.
Yuck.
Peterson B. Jordan.
Yuck. Jordan Peterson, you have broken rule number 8 of your own 12 Rules for Life book because you, sir, have lied by omission by not saying that you, in fact, believe in God.
Just everything about this mentality and fighting for honesty. I fucking hate that tactic of just being like, I believe and care about honesty. So that way, if you disagree with that honesty, then you're just attacking me. You're not like actually trying to find the truth like me. And by truth, I mean what happens to allow me to survive. Jordan Peterson says so much nothing. It's hard for me to latch on to exactly what he's talking about or is pretending to be talking about. I mean, he runs around at any sort of answer so much.
But I have one more thing to say about Jordan Peterson.
Okay.
Because Jordan Peterson does not take his own advice, especially on this topic about whether or not he's willing to accept the fact that he is a freaking Christian. He believes in God. These are things that he actually believes under the conventional sense of the word believes, not his redefinition of the word believes. I just have to say, Jordan Peterson, if you don't say what you think, then you kill your unborn self. Say that you believe in God, because you do.